Namaskar.
Namaskar. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Shri Shailabhijanamburashishanam Sri Krishna Tatatmajam Sri Shailanve Devanath Sudhya Praptagaman Tadvayam Padabje Narsimhatate Guroho Nyastatma Rakshabharam Vidvadvanda Chakora Chandiramaham Ramanujaryam Vishraye Sriranga Sudha Madhu Samasadayantam Sriranga Mahishi Padapankajatmajam Sulabhashrayam Sada Moda Siddhamadbhutam Bhajeham Gurum Tam Ranganatha Priyam Sukhasanastham Hridayabjapithe Chinmudraya Lankata Pani Padmam Shubho Pavitam Vimalordhvapundram Namami Rangam Gurum Antarange Namami Yoga Samragnim Vijayam Vijayapradam Srirangardhasanaseenam Karunam Mamamataram Guru Rupa Paranjyotihi Jyoti Rupa Guru Paraha Ajnana Mandiram Hyetat Kuru Vijnana Mandiram Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langhayate Girim Yatkrupa Tamaham Vande Paramananda Madhavam Yontah Pravishya Mama Vachamimam Prasuttam Sanjeevayat Chakila Shakti Dharaswadhamna Anyanscha Hastacharana Shravanatvagadine Pranan Namo Bhagavate Purushaya Tubhyam Jayatya Santrasa Dhvanta Vidhvam Sanodayaha Prabhavan Sitaya Devya Paramavyoma Bhaskaraha Sakrideva Prapannaya Tavasmiti Chayachate Abhayam Sarvabhutebhyaha Dadamyetadvratam Mama Manojavam Marutatulya Jitendriyam Buddhimatam Varishtam Vatatmajam Vanarayuthamukyam Sriramadutam Sharasa Namami Veda Vedye Pare Pumsi Jate Dasharathatmaje Veda Pracheta Sadasite Sakshad Ramayanatmana. With salutations to our Guru and the Guru of all Gurus will commence our session today. Requesting as many of you can go switch on your videos as possible. So in the last session, we had concluded the 14th Sargam, and 14th Sargam is about Ashokavanika Anveshanam. Lord Hanuman, he actually starts exploring Ashokavanika, and we have seen some wonderful description of the great Ashokavatika with so many different types of flower bearing and fruit bearing trees and different types of mrigas, pakshis, animals. They were all to be seen, and it was very, very colorful to look at. There are different types of colorful trees, and so much so that one of the analogies we see is a reflected light from the trees. It falls on Hanuman and he thinks I am golden. அப்படின்னு அந்த அளவுக்கு ஒரு தேஜஸா இருக்கக்கூடிய ஒரு அசோகவனிகா. And within that he finds the Deva Vriksham called Shimshupa, and he climbs on top of the Vriksham and he starts to survey the place. And one of the key things we noticed is towards the end of the last Sargam, Hanuman assigns many different causes as to why this is the place where I will be able to certainly see Sita, isn't it? So he says she is somebody who is familiar with the forest. She will come here. She will enjoy the surroundings here with such crystal clear waters. She will like the animals that you see here. She will like the birds, which are really making some divine noises, chirping, etc. And lastly, he says she is also an Arya lady, and therefore, in order to do her Sandhya, at least for that sake, she will come here, because the waters that I see here are indeed very pious. And if this is not the place where she will come, where else can I see? Is the logic that Hanuman applies. And he is now essentially scanning the place. So we'll get into the next sargam now. This is the sargam we have all been perhaps waiting. It's known as the Sita Darshana sargam. Okay. Narayana. Savikshamanas Margamanascha Maithilim Avekshamanascha Mahim Sarvam Tamanvekshata Saha Tatrasthaha Vikshamanaha. Hanuman started to scan the place from atop the Simshupa Vriksham, and he is looking for Maithili. Margamanaha Avekshamanaha Sarvam Tam Mahim Anvavekshata. So Margamana apdi paathuner irukar endha pakkatla irundhu varuva அப்படினு. He is scanning the whole skies in all directions. Of course, his gaze is focused on the ground. Okay, Avekshamanaha Sarvam Tam Mahim. That's what he is doing now, surveying the whole area. Anvavekshata. He is the chief survey officer now. Santana Kalatabhischa Padupairupashobhitam Divya Gandharasopetam Sarvatas Samalangritam. I'll continue with the next series of shlokas because they're all connected. Again, talk about the divine place itself there, the divinity of the place to see. Tam Sanandana Sankasham Mrigapakshibhiravritam Harmya Prasada Sambadham Kokila Kulaniswanam Kanchanotpala Padmabhi Vapi Bhirupashobhitam Bahvasana Kutopetam Bahubhumi Grihayutam Sarvartu Kusumai Ramyam Phalabadbhischapadapaihi Pushpitanam Ashokanam Shriya Suryodaya Prabham Pradiptam Iva Tatrastho Marutis Samudaikshata Nishpatra Shakham Vihagaihi Kriyamanam Ivasakrite Vinishpatadbhihi Shatashaha Chitraihi Pushpavatam Sakaihi Amula Pushpa Nichitaihi Ashokai Shokanashanaihi Pushpa Bharati Bharaischa Sprushadbhiriva Medinim Karnikarai Kusumitaihi Kimshukaischa Supushpitaihi. Detailed description of the various types of flowers and trees that Hanuman sees there. It's such a divine place. Marutihi Tatrastaha Santanaka Latabhischa. So he sees many different divine trees. Santanakangarthi, it's a tree to be found only in the Swargas. And Latabhischa, various types of creepers. And Padapaihi Upashobhitam. The place is really looking splendid, decorated with these kinds of trees. Divya Gandha Rasopetam Sarvataha Samalankritam. So there are divine fragrances that are emanating from the place. And Sarvataha Samalankritam, very well decorated on all sides. By what? Abhinaka, Avarapada the description. Nandana Sankasham. The place resembles the great Nandana garden or forest of Indra. Okay, Indranuடைய garden or grove peru Nandanamnu peru. So this whole place is resembling Nandanavanam. Mriga Pakshibhi Avritam. There are different types of animals and birds that are surrounding that place. Harmya Prasada Sambadham. There are many different types of mansions that can also be seen there. Kokilakula Niswanam. It is the whole place is filled with the sound coming from cuckoo birds. Kanchanotpala Padmabhihi Vapibhihi Upashobhitam. Kanchana gold. There are golden lilies that you could see. Utpalam. Aparam Padmam. These are different types of flowers that grow in the ponds. Yeah. So this is golden hued lilies as well as lotuses and many different water bodies, Vapi, such as ponds and lakes. They are really enchanting to be seen there in that place. Bahvasana kuthopetam bahubhumi grihayutam. There are many different, types of seating arrangements that Hanuman could see there. Asana kuthopetam. He could also see couches which are present where people can happily sit and enjoy the surroundings there. Bahubhumi grihayutam. There are many houses that you could see there. Sarvartu kusumaihi phalavadbihi padapaihi ramyam pushpitanam. Sarvaratu kusumaihi. There are different types of all seasonal flowers in Solva. There are trees that bloom throughout all the 4 seasons. Apparpatta nariya different types of fruit bearing trees as well as flowers which are all around the season. Pushpitanam, Ashokanam. Then Ashoka trees, obviously it's Ashokavanam. Shriya Suryodaya Prabham Pradiptam Iva. The whole place is really radiant. Okay. Rumba Srikarama irukku. Eppadi appadinaka Suryodaya Prabham. It is the radiance is just like the brilliance you see when the sun rises. Pradiptam Iva. Aparama Asakirtu Vinishpatadbhihi Shatashaha Vihagaihi Nishpatra Shakham Kriyamanam Iva. Asakirtu Vinishpatadbhihi. There are flowers which keep falling continuously from the various Ashoka trees there in such a manner that it appears as if the even the birds are also actually trying to remove the leaves that are there in the various trees. Nishpatra Shakam, Kriyamana. There are so many birds that you could see on top of the trees that they are also, fluttering and flying around, and because of that, the leaves are also continuously falling. Chitraihi, Pushpavatam Sakaihi. There are different types of colorful flowers that Hanuman was seeing. Okay, and Amula Pushpa Nichitaihi Shokanashanaihi Ashokaihi. So the Amula Pushpa Nichitaihi. So the trees are in such a way that you could see flowers all the way from the roots to the shoots. So it is so beautiful to look at. Amula Pushpa Nichitaihi Shokanashanai. The moment you see that, all your sorrow will disappear. So that's the beautiful place that Sita Mata is actually residing there. Shokanashanai Pushpa Bharita Bhareischa Medinim Sprushadbhiriva Kusimitaihi Karnikaraihi. So the all the trees are so heavily loaded with flowers. Abdingra Pushpa Bhara Bharitaischa Medinim Sprushadbhiriva Kusimitaihi Karnikarai. There are other trees known as Karnikara trees, where it appears as if the whole tree is full of flowers from the roots to the shoots and back to the ground again. So that's the kind of canopies that the trees have built. Supushpitaihi Kimshukaihi Tam Samudaikshatah. So these are fully blossomed Kimshuka flowers as well that Hanuman found in that place. In other words, we talk of Padma Priye, Padmini, Padmahaste, and Kusuma Priyaye Namah. So she is somebody who likes flowers, and this is an excellent Pitikai. Before you see Mother Sita, isn't it? It's a very good way to welcome the fact that you are very eminent. You are going to see Sita ngarda or pleasant experience of Valmiki kondu porar. Okay. Sadesha prabhaya tesham pradiptaiva sarvataha. The whole place was resplendent with the tejas that is coming from the trees itself. Punnaga saptaparnascha champakoddalakas Vivirdha Mula Bahavaha Shobhante Sma Supushpitaha. Again, There are many different types of flowers that are mentioned here. For example, Supushpitaha Punnagaha. Okay, Punnaga is a type of flowers, a tree. Saptaparnascha, another tree which is known as Saptaparnam. Maybe it has 7 leaves all through. Tatha Champakoddalaka, Champaka, Uddalaka. They are all Shobhantes. They are all shining really bright and making the whole place shine with brightness. Shata Kumbhanibha Kechite, Kechidagnishikhopamaha, Nilanjana Nibha Kechite, Tatra Ashoka Sahasrashaha. There are thousands of Ashoka trees that you could see. And perhaps Ashoka is like a family name, you know. Maybe every tree you look at that removes your shokam is called Ashokam. And it removes your shokam because they are all flower bearing, very colorful, fragrant flowers. And, you know, it is good to look at too. It is a treat for all our senses, for our eyes, nose, you know. Maybe if you want to taste it, they will also taste very nicely. Yeah. Apparpatta or Ashoka Vrikshatla, Tatra Sahasrashaha Ashokaha Kechite, Shata Kumbhitaha Kechit, Kumbhanibhaha Kechite. Some of them were golden hue in color, they are shining like gold itself. Agni Shikhopamaha Kechite. Some of them were like the Shikhai of Agni, the end tip of the flame, you can think of. Agni Shikhopamaha. Aparam Nilanjana Nibhaha. Some others were actually Neelam in color. Nilanjana Nibhaha. Nandanam Vividhodhyanam Chitram Chaitraratham Yata Ativrittamiva Chintyam Divyam Ramyam Shriyavritam Vitiyamiva Chakasham Pushpajyotirganayitam Pushparatnashatais Chitram Ditiyam Sagaram Yatha Sarvartu Pushpair Nishitam Padapair Madhugandhibhi Nana Ninadairudyanam Ramyam Mrigaganai Dvijaihi Aneka Gandha Pravaham Punya Gandham Manoramam. So, ipo Gandhatapati soldar. Earlier it was all about the treat to the eyes. Okay. Vividhodhyanam. There are different types of gardens you could see in that place. Nandanam Yatha. Just like the Nandana Vanam of Indra. Chitram, it is really very, very colorful to look at. Chaitra Ratham Yatha. So he is also comparing, Hanuman is comparing this to the garden of Kubera. It is known as Chaitra Ratham. It is the garden of Kubera. Ativrittam Achintyam. It is something which is very rare to look at. No, it surpasses anything that you would have seen earlier. Achintyam, unimaginable. Divyam, very divine. Ramyam, beautiful to look at. Shriya Vritam, it is surrounded with wealth all around, or dazzling brilliance all around. Pushpa Jyotir Ganayutam. So it is really surrounded by the Jyoti that is coming from the various Pushpas, flowers. Ganayitam, Jyotir Ganayitam. Oru Jyoti kadayadu. There are different types of Jyoti, meaning it's so colorful. You have all the colors of the rainbow, 7 colors paakalam, and therefore the Jyoti that is coming from those colors. Aprama Dvitiyam Akasham Iva. It looks as if it is a second sky on the ground. Okay, so normally if you look at sky, not during noon time, but during dawn or dusk. So it will be very, very beautiful to look at. There are different hues of various colors you can see. So it is looking like a reflection of sky on the ground. It's looking like a Dvitiyam Akasham. Pushparatna Shataihi. There are so many different types of flowers. He's calling them as Ratnam. Pushparatna Shataihi. Okay. Chitram. Again, Dvitiyam Sagaram Yatha. It also looks like Sagaram. He's comparing it to sky as well as the ocean, meaning it is boundless. So such was the beauty of Ashokanam. Yatha Sarvartu Pushpaihi Madhu Gandhibhihi Padapaihi. There are all seasonal flowers there, and they are all honey scented, not madhugandhibihi. It has the scent of honey. Okay, padapaihi. Ana honey ingerde flowers lendana varum. So it's like a catch-22. So perhaps it shows that these are flowers which honey bees resort to make honey. Okay. Madhugandhibihi nichitam nana ninadaihi mrigaganaihi dvijaihi. There are different types of birds, Dvijamna birds singer, which have flocked all these trees, and they are also making different types of sounds. Nana ninadaihi ramyam aneka gandha pravaham. It is overflowing with various types of fragrances. Pushpagandham manoramam. So this is actually indeed the divine fragrance which pleases our hearts. Manorama அப்படின்னு சொல்லுவோம் இல்லையா, மனசை ரமிக்கக்கூடியவர் மனோரமா. And it pleases all our senses மாத்திரம் கிடையாது, it also pleases our mind. Yes, any comment? I think
no, just one பாட்ட பேத மாதிரி பஞ்சமம் சாகரம்னு இருக்கு நான் படிக்கிறதுல. அது ஏதாவது இம்பார்ட்டண்டா? வை இப்ப அந்த புஷ்பரத்ன சதைஸ் சித்திரம் பஞ்சமம் சாகரம் யதா அப்படின்னு இருக்கு இதுல.
ஓகே, பர்ஹாப்ஸ் இப்போ இந்தியன் ஓஷன், பசிபிக் ஓஷன், அண்டார்டிக் ஓஷன் சொல்ல அந்த காலத்துல 4 சாகரம் இருந்திருக்கும். இது 5வது சாகரம் அப்படின்னு போட்டாரு.
ஓகே ஓகே. இல்ல அதான் என்ன த்வித்தியம்னு சொல்ல படிச்சப்போ இதுல பஞ்சமம்னு இருந்ததா, சொன்னா அதுக்கு ஏதாவது இருக்குமோ அப்படின்னு. ராம் ராம்.
பஞ்சமம் வேதம் அப்படின்னு சொல்ற மாதிரி இது பஞ்சமம், மகாபாரதத்துக்கு பஞ்சமம் வேதம்னு பேரு. அந்த மாதிரி திஸ் இஸ் லைக் பஞ்சமம் சாகரம். புஷ்பகந்தம் மனோரமம். So in other words, it's a very divine place to be in. Okay. So அப்படியே கொஞ்சம் அப்படியே டென்ஷனை கூட்டின்னு போறாரு. No, he's taking us closer to Sita now. शैलेन्द्रमिव गन्धाढ्यं द्वितीयं गन्धमादनं अशोकवनिकायां तु तस्यां वानरपुङ्गवः सददर्श अविदूरस्थं चैत्यप्रासादमुच्छ्रितं मध्ये स्तम्भसहस्रेण स्थितं कैलासपाण्डुरं प्रवालकृतसोपानं तप्तकाञ्चनवेदिकं मुष्णन्तमिव चक्षुंषि द्योतमानमिव श्रिया विमलं प्रांशुभावत्वात् उल्लिखन्तम् इवाम्बरम्. என்ன சொல்றார் அப்படின்னாக்கா, சஹா வானர புங்கவஹ ஹனுமான் தஸ்யாம் அசோகவனிகாயாம், in that அசோகவனம், what did he say? மத்தியே, in the middle. இதெல்லாம் for trees, he has seen all the trees and lovely flowers all around with fragrance and all. Suddenly his gaze turns to a spot where he now sees madhye gandhadyam, very highly fragrant place. Dvitiyam gandhamadanam iva, he sees a small hillock which is resembling Mount Gandhamadanam. Okay. Stambha sahasrena sthitam, it appears to have, rather it has 1000 pillars in that place. Ayrankal mandapam adin solluva, that is a famous thing in very old temples. You will see Ayrankal mandapam. So he is seeing a similar one here. Sthitam Kailasa Panduram, it is very white in color, resembling Kailasa mountain. அப்படி ஒரு திவ்யமான ஒரு he sees a small hillock. It probably is a temple actually. Pravalakrita sopanam, it has stairs which are encrusted with pavalam, pravalam. Tapta kanchana vedikam, it also seems to have vedikais or altars which are made of molten gold. Tapta kanchanam. Apparam chakshumsi mushnantamiva shriya. So it has such a dazzling brilliance that it is stealing our eyes into that direction, is the meaning. Chakshumsi mushnantamiva. Then Dhyotamanamiva vimalam, it is really shining, pristine white in color. Pramshubhavatvat ambaram ullikhantam iva. So it is so, bright, is so bright that it appears, I mean, the brightness or dazzling thing, it probably is shooting up to the skies. And it appears as if it is writing something on the sky. Skyla ullikhantam. So that's the Kavi's imagination here. Pramshubhavatvat ullikhantam iva avidurastham uchritam dadarsha. So not too far from there. Vidurastham. Duram, viduram, aviduram. Okay. Duram, viduram, romba duram. Aviduram is not too far from there. Uchritam. There's a tall tower that is Chaitya Prasadam Dadarsha. It's probably a temple. In other words, I believe there is a deep connection to the spiritual world here. When somebody has the great fortune of perhaps doing a sakshatkaram of Mahalakshmi, they may go through these visions. It is so pleasant that you will find Mahalakshmi in a spot where you will see it's all very colorful, extremely fragrant, that all your senses will be drawn not only externally but also internally. You will find that divine upliftment the moment you see such Divya Gandham and Divya Darshanam. And in the middle, you are also seeing that light or Jyoti. And perhaps the reference to the 1,000 pillars is to the Sahasraram. Sahasrare Mahapadme. Isn't that also the space or place where Mahalakshmi herself resides? So perhaps it has a deep spiritual connotation to those who are in that path of realizing Mahalakshmi. And what a brilliant thing that Hanuman has this darshan even externally, so that's the thing we may want to correlate it with. Tato malina samvitam rakshasibhis samavritam upavasa krisham dinam nishwasantim punah punah dadarsha sukla pakshado chandrarekhamivaamalam. So we have come to that spot where the gaze turns towards that temple like structure, and there within that temple Hanuman finally sees Sita Mata. Okay, Tataha Malina Samvitam. So she is somebody, she is clad with clothes which are dirty, soiled clothes. Rakshasibhihi Samavritam. She is surrounded by different Rakshasis. Avarama Upavasa Krisham Dinam. She has been perhaps doing fasting for so long that she is really very thin, emaciated. Upavasa Krisham Dinam. She is in a very pitiable condition. Punah Punaha Nishwasantim. So she is sighing very frequently, and she is basically crying. And what does it resemble? Adin Pataka Shukla Pakshado Amalam Chandra Rekham Iva. Although it's a very, what should I say? It's not a pleasing state to see. She resembled the crescent moon, which you will see at the beginning of Shukla Paksham.
Sound வரல அங்க வரலையே எனக்கு.
Are you able to hear me?
Yes, you are able to.
Yes. So an interesting thing here, he could have told that she resembles moon which is in the Krishna Paksham. He says it is Shukla Paksham. Okay, so there is a sense of positive spin there that says that Sita is resembling the very first moon that you will see in the Shukla Paksham immediately after Amavasya. Manda prakhyayamanena rupena ruchira prabham pinadham dhumajalena shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Manda prakhyayamanena. She is somebody who you could very faintly recognize because probably it is at a little bit distance. It is not easy to spot who she is. Okay. Rupena dhumajalena. She is in a form and it is kind of hidden behind a cluster of smoke. Pinadham ruchira prabham. She is engulfed with smoke around her. Ruchira prabham. She is shining bright. Abdina soldar. Ruchira prabham. Vibhavasoho shikhamiva. She is as radiant as the fire that emanates, as the tip of the fire that you can see. Abdin soldar. Manda prakhayamane rupena ruchira prabham pinadham dhumajalena shikhamiva vibhavasoho. Perhaps as we ascend to a state very closer to realizing Mahalakshmi, the very first vision you will have is will be shrouded. You may not have a clear vision of her. Maybe it is in that direction that Hanuman is proceeding. Pite naikena samvitam klishte nottamavasasa sapankam analankaram vipadmamiva padmini. So further description of the very first sight of Sita Mata, isn't it? Klishtena Pitena ekena uttamavasasa samvitam. So she has a body which is really worn out. Okay, she is very, very tired. You can actually see that from a distance also. And she is wearing a pitambaram. Pitena ekena, only one cloth she is wearing. And uttamavasasa, perhaps it is a silk cloth. Uttamavana or tuni, that is what she is wearing. Samvitam analankaram sapankam vipadmam padminimiva. So it appeared, the upamanam that Kavi is giving is, imagine a lotus pond, okay, which is without lotus. Okay, normally it has a collection of lotuses. We call it as Padmini. Such a pond which bears lotuses is called Padmini. And sapankam vipadmam. Pankam abdinaka clay, dust ku per. Clay ku per pankam. Pankajakshin solren illaya. That which emanates from pankam is pankaja. Okay. So if you, and vipadmam, it is devoid of any padmam. So in other words, the pond is very slushy and it doesn't have padma. How will it look? Similarly, Sita Mata was sitting there. Vriditam dukkha santaptam parimlanam tapasvinim grahenangarakeneva piditam ivarohini. She appeared to be vriditam, very shy in nature. Okay. Dukkha santaptam. Of course, she is tormented by dukkham. That is very, very clearly seen. And parimlanam, she looks like a withered flower, a flower which has dried and suk gaya. Vaisa pushp ko dekh rahe hain udhar. Tapasvinim, she is of course a tapasvi. Angarakena grahena piditam rohini niva. So just like the Angaraka graham, grabs the Rohini star. That is how Sita Mata is looking. What does this mean? So normally Kavis, especially those who are jnanis, they will have a far-reaching knowledge which extends various systems. So in this case, Kavi is showing that he is also an astrologer. He knows Jyotish Shastram very much. And of course, Hanuman is also a Jyotish Shastra Visharadaha. He has a PhD in Jyotisha. So anybody here who knows astrology, he doesn't use, for example, the Shani Graham covering, let's say, Mula Nakshatram. He doesn't use any of those. He says, Angarakam Rohinim Piditamiva. So what you should know here is that when Mars aspects Rohini, the person who is undergoing that particular transition, they will be saddened due to some loss, I believe. Okay, they have incurred some big loss in their life. And normally it happens when Mars aspects Rohini. And the person who is going through this is somebody whose mind is really restless. It is very turbulent. It is very active and it is not restful. And the person also is somebody who would want to live their life without anybody else's interference, especially when Mars aspects Rohini. At the same time, the said person apparently will be free from fickle-mindedness. Okay, and they are somebody who will be admired and respected. But there is one more important thing, is that the person shows a symptom which is like disease of mistakes, which means they would have performed some really big mistake, because of which they are undergoing all of this. So in other words, this is all coming from Jyotish Shastram. When Mars aspects or it grabs or catches hold of the Rohini Nakshatram. Okay, so that's the Upamanam that Kavi is giving. It is not without any rhyme or reason. If you would see whatever I just described, this as per astrology, it fits exactly the state that Sita Mata is in. Okay, so that's the reason why, great Kavis, Adi Kavi, சத்தியத்துக்கு முரணாக எதுவும் எழுத மாட்டார்கள். They will not write anything which deviates from truth. Whatever they use as upamanam also has a deep meaning. So you can quote this and go away, just like Rohini is grabbed by Mars and சொல்லிட்டு போயிட்டுக்கலாம். But it's important to know the underlying astrological implication. Ashrupurnamukhiim deenam krisha manashenena cha shokadhyana paranam Nityam Dukkha Parayanam. Ashrupurna Mukhim. Her face is, yes. Is there somebody?
Yeah, Hiran. What was her fatal mistake? Is it just leaving the circle, or like
Which state? Sorry, I didn't understand your
what
question.
was her fatal mistake? Because you said that.
Okay. What's the fatal mistake that she did? Was to shoo away Lakshmana at the wrong time. She said, Lakshmana, Rama is suffering. Okay, she's shouting, Ha Site, Ha Lakshmane. And she says, that's a very big episode. She uses all kinds of words against Lakshmana in such a manner that Lakshmana is compelled to leave that place. That's the mistake she did. And Ravana immediately kidnaps her. That's the mistake she did. Is that okay? Ashrupurna Mukhim. So her face is filled with tears. Deenam, she is very, very dejected. Anashanena Krisham. She has not eaten for many days. Therefore, she is very, very thin. Shokadhyana Param. எப்படின்னா shokam அப்படிங்கிறது இருக்கலாம். You can have sorrow. But she is meditating on sorrow அப்படிங்கிறார். So that is the depth of sorrow that she has gone into. that she is perennially in a state of sorrow. She is only, doing meditation of that state. And Nityam Dinam, she is always looking very, very dejected. Dukkha Parayanam, she is overpowered or overwhelmed with grief. Priyam Janama Pashyantim Rakshasi Ganam Swaganena Mrigim Hinam Shwagana Bhivritamiva. Nice play of words in Sanskrit. Priyam Janam Apashyantim. She is in a state where she is not able to see her own near and dear people. Leya, adukku mara, it is exactly opposite. Who is she seeing? Rakshasi Ganam Pashyanti. What you are supposed to see, you are not seeing. What you are not supposed to see, you are seeing. Both are happening to her right now. Pashyantim Swaganena Hinam. Sanskritla careful arkanam. Swaganena Hinam. She is bereft of her own people. Shwaganabhi Vritam. Shwanaka Nai Nartam. So she has lot of dogs around her. Okay. I should be careful when I talk about this in UK. In India, I can talk. Shwaganabhi Avritam. Okay. So she is surrounded by, hounds. Avdinartham. Mrigim iva. Just like imagine there is a female deer. You call it a doe, is it? DOE, perhaps. So imagine a female deer surrounded on all sides by dogs. Okay, how frightened that doe would be. So that is perhaps the state Sita Mata is in. All around her, she is only seeing demonesses. Nilanaga Bhaya Venya Jaghanam Gatayaikaya Nilaya Nirada Paye Vanarajya Mahimiva Sukharham Dukka Santaptam Vyasana Namakovidam. Very deep description of a state of sorrow. In Srimad Ramayanam, the state of sorrow gets described in 2-3 other places also. So one of the previous places you will see is in Kaikeyi. Okay, the way she would get into a state of sorrow, there it is imposed by herself due to anger and due to ahankaram. Whereas here the shokam is kind of natural. Okay, there's a very big difference. And the nature of Sita Mata in that state of sorrow is described here. Enala solrar Jaghanam Gataya Ekaya Nilanaga Bhaya Venya. So Hanuman is seeing her from behind. It looks like that. Okay. So he's seeing her disheveled hair. Okay. Ida patti na careful solnom. So if you do not tie your, I am speaking Valmiki's words. Okay, please pardon me. So Talailam Virchinde, it goes all the way up to her hips. Abdingirar Nalla Nilama Megam irukku. Nilama matramile Nilamavum irukku. Nilanaga Bhaya. It looks like a dark snake. Okay, that is how her disheveled hairs look. Adukku enna peru? Ekaveni ni peru. You heard of Triveni, yeah? Triveni and Ekaveni. Triveni na enna artham? When you make your braid, you make 3 knots intertwined with each other. Yeah. So that's called Triveni, where 3 things join together. If that is not the case, then it is called Ekaveni. Okay. So there's a very big reason why, in fact, even gents are supposed to have Triveni. So it holds good for all men folk also. Provided we have some more hair left in our head. That's a different issue. So the Triveni is very important. It is actually, when tied properly, if somebody has a Triveni, you will actually get a sense of joy. Okay. I take the liberty from Anusha here. Whoever has tied it properly, the moment you see that hair itself will give you a sense of joy. There is a reason behind it. because it is something which Shastras have told us to do. Okay. So which means it's a code which has come based on significant research. Okay. That is the thing we should observe. Oh, what is that research? In our body, Enjan Odambirku dash. Complete the sentence. Shirase Pradhanam. The head is the most important part in our body. We call it the crown. And we have to protect our body, different parts of our body, using various types of abharana. We wear the ring in the ring finger. If you are super rich, all fingers will have rings. That's a different issue. But ring finger is the most important finger where you should definitely have a ring. Okay. Then, of course, something to protect your neck. Something to protect your wrists with bangles. Then you will have Nupuram, you will have Kundalam, etc., etc. So what adorns our head? What is it that protects our head? If you are super rich, you will have a crown. Okay. And the crown ilak ponaka, what is important to have is to tie your hairs in such a manner that it grips your head. Okay. That grip provides you a very important bandha in the body. So, we need to have different types of bandha when you are in the path of yoga. So you have Mooladhara Bandham. Then you have Bandham around the Manipuram. You have Bandham around Vishuddhi. You will have Bandham called as a Jalandhara Bandham. Finally, a Bandham in the Sahasraram. So this is supposed to keep you in a good state of control. The moment you loosen the Trivenis, you are coming down to the field of Prakriti. So you are voluntarily signing a contract with Prakriti. Oh Mata, I am with you. I will be with you always. I will forget the Purushatvam. So the moment you sign that contract, Prakriti Mata will be happy to take you downwards. So that's the reason why we should never have disheveled hair. Okay. And in fact, in those days, maybe 30 years ago, our elderly ladies would actually cry, Ayoyo, dirike, paakathukena, talla talla adichipa. Ana edukkaga adichikrana avalukku therinjado illiyo namalukku theriyadhu. This is the main reason. Okay. They would have done it because you are violating Shastras. But why do Shastras tell this? Is something that was hidden until my guru figured it out, actually, as to what are the secrets. Why do you do all of this? There is a reason why we do most of these things. Adanala inga enna paakrar avar Ekaveniya paakrar. He's seen Sita Mata with Ekaveni, Nilaya, Niradapaye, Vanarajya, Mahimiva. The another upamanam he gives here is that Niradapaye, at the close of the rainy season, Nilaya, Vanarajya, Mahimiva. It is just like a forest which is devoid of rain, or perhaps at the end of the rainy season when you see all the trees. So they will all be in a very soaky condition. They will not be happy. All the leaves will be very wet and so on. So that's the state he sees. But who is Sita there? She is actually a Sukharha. She is somebody who really needs to be in a happy state. But what is she in a state of? Dukkha Santaptam. She is full of sorrow. And Vyasananam Akovidam. So in other words, this is a scene which cannot be understood by somebody who has not gone through sorrow. So that is the state of sorrow she is in. That somebody who has themselves not gone through the state of sorrow will not be able to appreciate it. So that is the state of shokam that Sita Mate is in. Tam samiksha vishalakshim adhikam malinam krisham tarkaya masa siteti karunairupapadibihi. So we'll end with the slokam which at least says that he is seen Sita Mata and he makes a logical conclusion that this is indeed Sita Mata. Okay. Vishalakshim Adhikam Malinam Krisham. So Hanuman sees Vishalakshi is Sita Mata, large eyes, and she is very much Malinam. She is in a state of uncleanliness. She is soiled. Krisham, very thin. Tam Samikshya Upapadhibhi Karanehi. He is now establishing with proper reasons thereof. Siteti Tarkayamasa. This indeed is Sita. So earlier also when he sees Mandodari, he does a Tarkayamas Sita. He thinks that this is Sita. There he probably does that without much of Upapadi, much of logical reasons, 1, 2, 3. And then he starts to revel himself. Whereas this time, he has enough reasons. He's seeing the person there, in what state she is. And she's being an Arya lady. She will definitely not have a disheveled hair, number one. Right? You see a surrounding which is really pleasant, where you are supposed to be without sorrow. But here is somebody who is actually in deep sorrow. Right? And she is completely in a state where Nishwasantim. She is continuously weeping or crying. So there are enough reasons now for Hanuman to believe that this is indeed Sita. Okay. So with that, we will conclude our session today. All right.
Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Guru Charanambuja Nirbhara Bhakta Samsarada Chirag Bhava Mukta Guru Charanam Puja Krishna Krishna Sendriya Manasa Niyamadevam Rakshasi Nija Hridayastam Devam Bhaja Govindam Bhaja Govindam Govindam Bhaja Mudhamate
Ayena vacha manasa indriyirva buddhya atmana va prakrite swabhavat karomi yadyat sakalam parasmai Shriman Narayana yeti samarpayami sarvam Shri Ramachandra arpanamastu. Have a great day and a week ahead. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Namaskar.
so much.
Thank you, Raghanji. Thank you very much.
Namaskaram, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raghavanji.
Thank you. Namaskar.
Ram Ram.
Ram.